A realistic optimist. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I got in from the gym about an hour and a half ago. I had an amazing workout, about a 3.5 hour workout. Plus, I did my 5 mile run today. Plus, I had all my schoolwork today, my college work. As most of you know, I went back to college. And so it's been a busy, busy, busy day. So we had dinner, and now I'm just kind of relaxing. I had my bubble bath, so I feel really, really good and amazing. And I wanted to talk about being a realistic optimist. What is a realistic optimist? Well, what is an optimist? Well, in my definition, an optimist is someone who thinks very positive oriented, and I'm an optimist. I like to keep my mind geared in a positive direction, and yet I like to be realistic. I'm a realistic optimist. I weigh everything when I'm looking at it, and just because I'm positive doesn't mean that I'm not realistic. And I believe in dreaming big. I believe in going for my dreams. I believe in all the positive things. I believe in looking at the bright side. I believe in hoping for the bright side. And yet I look at all of the negatives as well. And I look at the negatives in a way of how can I change those negatives into positives. I don't deny the negatives. I acknowledge the negatives, and I search for a way to navigate around the negatives or to change the negatives into positives. So I think a realistic optimist is one who is positive and is geared in a positive direction, and yet they look at the negatives and they try to come up with a really, really good plan and how to deal with the negatives. So they don't deny the negatives. And, I think optimists get a bum rap because people say, oh, you're living in a dream world. No, not a realistic optimist. Maybe an optimist who is not realistic. But I think people who are negative oriented are like brakes on a car. And I think a realistic optimist has brakes on their car. They're a car that's going along at a good speed, and yet they have the brakes. The realistic part is the brakes on that car. Whereas people who are negative oriented, who are not optimists, who believe that everything is bad and going to turn out bad, often have stagnant lives. They're stuck. They go no place in life because they're fearful. And so I think being a realistic optimist, we admit that there's negatives in the world, and so we do all we can to make our life positive, and we try to turn the negatives around or try to avoid the negatives, but we don't deny the negatives. Well, from my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you all soon again. Bye-bye.